everyone, so I'm Sandra and I'm here to teach you how to make creamy pesto Parmesan chicken. So this is a super simple recipe. You only need chicken, milk, a little bit of oil, and some spinach. That's it. And then of course, your seasoning. So super easy, always instructions on the back. All your ingredients that you need are in bold. So if you're making a grocery list, be aware of that. And then I'm gonna show you how to do it, just like I'm gonna do it for the first time and show you how easy it is. So if I can do it, you can do it. I swear you can. So we're just gonna read the instructions and follow as is, and you're gonna see how easy it is. So it says, preheat large non-stick fry pan over medium-high heat. I'm gonna use this wok, which I super duper love, so I sometimes use it as an alternate to a frying pan because it just works so well. So I'm just gonna turn that on, handy dandy, and we're gonna preheat that. Then combine seasoning, so this, with 1.5 cups of milk. So all we're gonna do is take these handy dandy kitchen scissors. I like cutting it at the top so the instructions you can still see. We're just gonna put that in our 4-cup prep bowl. Hopefully you guys can see that. If not, I'm gonna just tweak you guys there. So I like this. We're gonna put you here. We keep our instructions over here so you can just see prep bowl. Maybe I'll come up closer this way. Prep bowl, and then we're gonna do 1.5 cups of milk. So I like the fact that I can actually interchange things, make these sauces with lactose free because I'm lactose free. So I think this is great because when you do buy things at the store, sometimes, you know what, it's just not doable. So I avoid those store-bought things because I'm lactose free. So all you're gonna do is take your prep bowl, the small little ones, into the big one, and one full prep bowl is 1 cup, but they actually have these increments on these sides as well. So I know that 1/2 cup is right here, there's 3/4, 1/4, and there's milliliters on the other side if you're doing that. So I'm just gonna fill it up halfway, and super, super easy. There we go, we've got that. I'm just gonna put this in the sink. We'll put that away later in 5 seconds. And then all I'm gonna do is take spoon, and I'm gonna use that. I really like reducing the amount of dishes I have to do. So I'm just gonna stir this around in the prep bowl. And what it says to combine it, and then we're gonna set it aside. So I'm gonna make sure all of that is getting moist, all the seasoning is getting some moisture. That's it. Ooh, it smells so good, and I love the fact that I know that it's lactose free. So if you ever go looking for any of those creamy sauces, you'll notice most of them don't say lactose free. So I like making sure. I can get away with a little bit of lactose, so even if there's cheese in the Epicure products that I do use, it never gives me any discomfort because I can handle a little bit, especially paired with other foods, like putting it on a pasta or spinach or other things. But I just find so much of those have a lot of lactose in it, those store-bought. So I just prefer, I'm gonna just put you in the bowl here. And so the great part is, those prep bowls always come with silicone lids. No need for saran wrap or foil, and great prepped. I'm just gonna put it right aside right there. So then it says, heat up 1 tablespoon of oil in the pan and cook 1 pound of chicken breast fillets. So I like budgeting. So if you can see, I'm gonna just pull you guys over here again. You can see I'm just taking that cutting mat. It's a flat cutting mat and making sure it's not on the stove or the hot spot. I'm just gonna take our chef knife, and I'm actually just taking chicken breast. So you can do this. It's technically a little cheaper because actually the chicken fillets, when you buy them, they're actually this piece underneath. I don't know if you can see that, but they're actually the little pieces underneath. And some stores will remove them. The store did, but it's a very, very tender cut of meat. Super lovely, perfect for stir fries. But because I just had chicken breast, I'm gonna use chicken breast, and I'm gonna cut them in kind of fillet style. That's it. And then what I'm gonna do is, and as you can see, these are semi-solid, and this chef knife can chop, it can slice through. So I like it because it gives me a little bit more control than slippery, raw and fresh chicken. So that's another reason why I like kind of bulking up and making sure that I have frozen chicken. I always do a fresh chicken, but I am okay with frozen chicken because I know that it's actually even easier to handle. So all I'm just gonna do is do those, and I'm gonna kind of cut on an angle to get a little bit more of a fillet look and to go cross section against the muscle grains so it's even more tender and more flaky and very, 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 so semi-solid, and we're just gonna do that right here. 1, 2, and this one's okay, but I'm just gonna give it thinner slices because I am serving up a storm, so I'd like to actually make sure that there's some portion control and there's a lot of chicken to go around. So there we go. So don't forget, I'm just gonna rinse my hands off here. Don't forget, you've got to actually put that oil in. So I can actually take 1 tablespoon, and we're gonna fit in the 4-in-1. So that's 1 right there. If you want, I just usually just spray it around like I'm on a cooking show. Ooh, I can hear it sizzle, getting super hot. So I'm just gonna shake that out right there. We're gonna put that chicken in, don't forget. We're gonna make sure we get all of that chicken fried up. But here's another good way about these mats. If you don't like all that, handling it, you can just slide it right in. Very foldable, super awesome, and clean up is very easy. Just I like rinsing it around. So remember that spoon that I mixed the things with? I'm gonna actually use that, kind of turn it around and cook that chicken. So we're gonna cook it until golden and cooked through. That's what the instructions say, so that's what we're gonna do. And I like this because the tools that I'm using, this one and a lot of the cookware tools are actually silicone and food safe. So up to past, I think it's 450 degrees Fahrenheit, they're food safe as well as heat safe. I can put this down and it's never going to melt. It's silicone, food safe silicone, around, wrapped around and really around steel kind of utensils. So that's the benefit to these kind, is that if I drop this, I know that it's not gonna melt. And then on top of it, they actually are a little bit squishy on each side, and that's to give a spatula effect. So you can really scrape when you have sauces. I'm gonna show you as soon as we get those sauces going, I'm gonna make sure that we get that going down. So that chicken's starting to get white on the outsides. I know it still needs some cooking because we're gonna do a little bit of extra cooking because it is frozen. So it is taking a little bit longer than the recipe does call for, but that's because I'm frugal and I like, saving a little bit of money here and there as well. So tastes just the same. I just prefer to spend my money on really good steaks rather than chicken fillets. But if they're on sale, I do, because they are super tender and awesome to make chicken fingers with as well. It's kind of like pull apart chicken fingers when you do that. So we're getting that going. And here's another tip. If you put that lid on it, it now creates an oven. So it's actually gonna bake it. It's gonna be less likely to burn because it's gonna keep the moisture in, and it's really, really gonna get to the insides of the meat. So I really like having lids for my cookware. I really like this one because I can see inside. So every time you lift a lid, every time you open an oven, you're reducing the temperature, the cooking temperature. That's gonna give you uneven cooking. It's going to dry out your food because it's not at the proper temperature for the length of time that the recipe calls for. So I really, really do appreciate having these glass lids. As you can tell, my hand's right on top. There's a reason. There is actually little pads here that actually protect my hand from the steel and the conduction of the heat from the glass and the metal. So there's actually little kind of things that it's perfect and it's super safe. If you want to put this entire thing in the oven, you can do so. Just wrap that little part up that has the silicone in it, and then make sure that it's wrapped in foil. Now it's a Dutch oven and it goes in your oven and you can bake a whole thing. It's almost like making your own convection oven on a cooktop as well. And then you can lift it up, because don't forget, it didn't ask us to have that lid. So I just do it to increase that cooking, or decrease the cooking time and increase the time so that I can get to food. I want to zip right through this. And so I'm gonna just turn it around again to make sure it's all good and dandy. Ooh, sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. That water from the top of the lid. Super love it. So just to let you know, there's always nutrition facts, just like every other food product or spice blend that you're gonna buy anywhere in Canada. To replace this with a vegetarian option, instead of chicken, you can do medium firm tofu, cubed or plant-based sausages. Super awesome, isn't it? So, they also give you nutrition facts for the dry and the prepared. The prepared wouldn't be exactly what I'm doing because I have lactose-free milk, but it's very, very similar. So when you look at the sugars, only 1% of your daily value. Fiber, once you add that spinach in, a quarter of this, so this actually makes 4 servings, a quarter of this gives you 7% of your fiber of your daily value that you're requiring. It's only 13% of your sodium. So on the package itself, it's 150 milligrams for the entire package, okay? So the dry mix, or a quarter of it. So you're only getting 7%. Once you add in the milk and the chicken, well, basically the milk, then you're gonna be actually having those things as well. So potassium, there's 10% in here. That's really good for you. Calcium, 19%. 19%, so almost 20%, 1/5 of your daily value when you make it prepared. And then iron, because of that spinach, you got 17%. I just love Epicure, honestly I do, because it just gives you super healthy things and you don't even know it. It's just replacing doing simple little swaps. I love the smell of cooked chicken. And nothing has even happened yet. Nothing has even happened yet. So I love, just going back to it, I love Epicure and the nutrition it provides, because they're really thinking, this company really is about a company, you know, founded by a mother that didn't want to feed her kids any of the fillers. She just wanted that flavor. She wanted to make the blends with all the junk. And so you can find those things on the Never Ever list listed on my website. But as well, you know what? They're always trying to find ways to make sure that we actually get our essential vitamins, minerals in our regular food. And so I think it's super awesome that we're really going back to the basics, but with delicious meals that we can make easy. So imagine when you're concerned about iron, you have this option, calcium, things like that, and really low sodium when you do the comparison. Go get a jar, see the difference, and I guarantee you when you do label, we always have our us versus them, you're gonna see the big difference. So when people ask, I'm like, swap it out. You won't notice, you'll be completely impressed by the flavors. You won't know the difference other than ours is better. And it's true. Based on my opinion, it's true. And you know what? When it comes to those good food kits and all those things being delivered to your door, this is delivered to your door as well, but it's not filled with all the other stuff. And you know it's fresh and it's what you want to make today, not what they want to send you. So I am super excited. I've always stood behind Epicure, and it took me 10 years to become a consultant. I just kept on buying, and really my background is actually a nutritional and nutraceutical science degree. Say that 3 times fast, and I'll give you a prize. But honestly, I was just blown away by their ingredients. And if you start from that good solid base, you know you're providing a healthy, delicious meal for you or your family or whatever your health goals are. So super awesome. We've got that cooked up. And then all it says is stir in the reserved seasoning. So don't forget, we did that. And I'm gonna just pour this all the way in. And don't forget that spatula, remember I told you, it can scrape. So as you can see, I'm gonna give you that full view. You can now see it. And I'm gonna scrape it and just to give you that visual of everything that doesn't want to come out right on the first splash. I can get every little piece of spice I want with these tools. I love these tools. I never thought I was gonna love these tools. Oop, rinsey rinse, bang, bang, bang. And so I'm just gonna stir. So we're gonna stir in the reserved seasoning. Yep, let's make sure, seasoning mixture. Reduce heat to medium, stirring occasionally. So we're gonna reduce that heat. And hopefully you guys can see that here. We've got that milk in there. And what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna just prep ahead. And as that's going, and we're gonna stir occasionally, we're gonna actually get in 4 cups of baby spinach. So now I've got this organic baby spinach, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure it out because this is a 4-cup prep bowl. So when you measure it, squish it in, okay? Because this is gonna reduce, really, if you've ever cooked spinach before, okay? You're gonna press that down and make sure it goes in, okay? Bum, 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 bum. So it can fit in there, we're good. And this doesn't have to be an exact science. If you want to leave a little less in, that's okay. I'm just going crazy here. And then what I'm gonna do, I didn't even think of this until now, but these are the awesome things. strainer. So as much as it's organic, I really like washing everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually pour that in here, because I measured it out now, right? Measured it out. And I'm just gonna rinse that up. So I'm gonna put you here, and we're gonna just rinse that up. I don't know if you can even see it. Oh, you can. So there we go. We've got actually, as you can see, this awesome, awesome collapsible strainer. Easy to fit in anywhere, any home, small spaces, small kitchens, dorm rooms, or you know what, even campers, things like that. It really does save on space. And then that way I'm making sure, even though it's organic, I'm making sure, and look at this. I can squeeze it. Can you see that? I can squeeze it. So I'm squeezing all that water out on top of it. I'm gonna shake that around because I really want that rinsed and washed as best as I can. I'm gonna squeeze that and get that all out. And if you want, you can put it over the bowl just in case to grab any other of that moisture as it's draining. So we've got this going on. It's starting to thicken up a little bit. I'm gonna scoop, as you can see, you can actually scoop. Let's pretend like we got it all messy on the side. And now I am getting it messy. Oh my gosh. The smell is fantastic. Definitely pesto-y, definitely garlic too. Oh, I've never used to be a huge pesto fan, but I'm starting to fall in love with it. I don't know what it is, but sometimes, you know what, when I teach kids, like when you grow, your taste buds grow. But even as an adult, you can always grow because it's kind of like an adventure. What's the worst that can happen? You don't like it? That's okay. So we've got that going in. 3 minutes, I'd say that's about 3 minutes. And we're gonna gradually stir this in until wilted. Okay, so we're gonna just stir that in gradually so we don't overwhelm with the heat, because we really wanna get that heat to reduce. Okay, we really wanna get that heat to reduce. There we go. As you can see, it's starting to actually kind of reduce in there. Okay, so as that goes in, just gonna give you a little bit more of a heads up. So let's bring you guys closer in without breaking my camera. There we go here. So hopefully you guys can see. And we're gonna do this. Oh, my poor tripod just had a little bit of an accident. So let's just make sure that you guys can see. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see everything that's going on. Sorry for my arm. This is what happens. I'm gonna make sure. Oh, you can't even guys see. So, hand it is. A lot of hand-eye coordination today, as this final recipe of the day has made it so that I am done for the day. That's what that means. I am done for the day. So then we're gonna just drag this over here. And hey, if I can do this one-handed, you can do it. I swear you can. I'm gonna make sure I get every little last bit of that spinach in. Super awesome. So there we go. Got that really, really rich in iron spinach going in. It adds that green flavor and fiber as well, and that creamy pesto. Served really good over, say, a fettuccine, rice, even on its own. Feel like adding more stuff in, sprinkle it on top with Parmesan. Super, super awesome. So it just says gradually stir in until wilted. So what you're gonna find is that when it comes down to it, with these sauces, they will thicken upon standing. So the cooler that they get, it will actually turn thicker. And if you go to use leftovers, guess what? It'll be even thicker when it cools down. So when it heats up, that is just kind of like the food science of what goes down. But I highly suggest giving it about 5 minutes to rest, and then you know what? you'll have a very thick sauce. So super awesome. I can't wait to serve this up to you and to my family. So there you go. Looks super beautiful. And sorry about the shaky, but hey, you still got to see how it's made, and it smells delicious. That's the one thing, is I wish you could smell what it is. So that's another one. Have a good day.